Sometimes the things that you do when you're trying to be productive and trying to save time end up being the very things that are costing you more time and causing you to be less productive. And in today's video, part 4 of our productivity and time management series, we're going to be talking about 3 mistakes that you're probably making and of course what to do about them. Mistake number 3 is my favorite because for me it was the most counterintuitive one and the one that had the biggest impact on my life. So stick around to listen to that one as well. Hi, I'm Muna. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to get notified every time I release a new video. Now, because this video is about productivity and time management, let's not waste any more time and go directly to mistake number 1, which is not having a plan. Now, listen. I am all for not having plans when we're on holiday, when we're traveling, or on weekends, or on days that we intentionally decide not to have a plan because we want to rest or we want to have a very flexible day. That's fine. But I'm talking about if you want to get things done, if you want to achieve things. And I'm not only talking about the day-to-day logistics and practicalities of life. I'm not only talking about dropping the kids off from here to there or making a dentist's appointment or taking care of the house. All of these things have to get done anyway, of course, and the plan would be very helpful for those things. As you know, I'm big on planning. But also, if you want to achieve your goals, I know this sounds like, wow, like so dramatic and so inflated, but truly, if you want to build your dreams and to take it out of your mind and to make it a reality, there is no way you can get there without a plan. Another thing about planning is that if you don't have a plan for the day, whether you do a lot of things or you don't do anything at all, you're not going to feel good at the end of the day, because there's nothing to compare it to. So let's say you achieved 10 things, but you didn't have a to-do list, you didn't have a plan. At the end of the day, you wouldn't know, should I celebrate, be happy with what I did, or was that not enough? So it ends up making you feel bad either way. I spent a lot of time on this channel talking about planning because I truly believe that this is the path to feeling good and to feeling free and to achieving those big goals and those big dreams that we have. I suggest you go back to one of my videos where I shared a very simple step-by-step process that is so doable, so practical that you can start implementing immediately, and I'm sure you're gonna like this one. One more note here is when I started talking about these things over on Instagram, some of my followers started saying, well, I like to have plans, but at the same time, I really want to be flexible. I like the feeling of freedom. And they said that they felt that having a plan and having structure made them feel like they're boxed in, like they can't be spontaneous, like they can't be free. But in my opinion, the truth is, not having a plan is what makes you feel less free. Because yes, maybe you don't have a plan written down on paper, so you're free from that, free from planning. But in your mind, you're not really free because you're constantly trying to make decisions, constantly trying to decide, should I go this way or that way? Focus on this or focus on that? Do this first or that first? You're constantly trying to make decisions and trying to, move forward step by step in your life. And with every step, there's a new decision. A plan would actually do the opposite. A plan would free you up from making all of these decisions. And the more free your mind is, the more creative you can be. And of course, the more productive you can be. So mistake number 1 is not having a plan. And the solution is have a plan. Go back to one of my videos that I talked about earlier. Use that system that is super simple and come back here and let me know how that worked out for you. Mistake number 2 is multitasking. And honestly, multitasking doesn't even exist. It's not humanly possible for us to do 2 things at the same time that require our thinking and that require our brain power. We think that we're multitasking, but the truth is we are task switching and context switching. And when we do that, we waste time in between switching between the different tasks. So we might be thinking that yes, I'm doing two things at the same time. Look at me, I'm being super productive. But the truth is you're slowing yourself down every time you switch. And the problem with that is that on a temporary basis, the effect and the cost feels very small. Like, it's okay, it's just going to take me 2 minutes to do this and 2 minutes to do that. But compounded, the impact will be huge, because 2 minutes here and 7 minutes here and 8 minutes there end up eating half of your day with just switching from one thing to the next. So instead of multitasking, like I've said before, one thing at a time, and turn it into a game. If it's very hard for you in the beginning to stay focused on one thing, then set a timer and play a game with yourself and see how long you can stay focused on the same thing. Mistake number 3 is believing that speed is the goal. But what we know is that speed often leads to mistakes. Worst case scenario, the mistake can't be fixed. Best case scenario, the mistake can be fixed, but it's going to cost you more time. And that is the opposite of what we're trying to achieve here. We think that we're trying to be quick and fast and rush things so we can get them done faster. But if we're getting things done faster but with mistakes, we're actually doubling the time that we're working on the exact same thing. One of my favorite teachers and mentors and coaches, James Wedmore, always says, slow down to speed up. And in the context of business, he means set the right foundations in place, even if it takes you time in the beginning, even if it's slower. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you're starting a new project and you open up a document and you start typing, and then you save it, and you don't want to waste time creating a new folder and putting it in the right place. So you say, you know what, I'm just going to put it on the desktop for now. I'll save it as draft 2 of whatever. And you save it there. Now, next time you come to work on it, you'll probably won't remember exactly where it is. And it's going to take you time to find it and to get back into it. Versus spending a little bit of time in the beginning creating that folders and creating the subfolders, so that next time you want to work on it, it takes you 2 seconds to get exactly to the document that you want to get to and start working on the project again. So in terms of business, slowing down and creating a proper plan and putting in the right foundations, and in my case, automations and all of these things, maybe takes a little bit of time in the beginning because you're doing it slowly, but as the flow starts going, you're actually saving a lot more time later on. Now, in our real lives, not just business, slowing down sometimes means like listening to our kids to the end of the sentence before we jump into solution mode, before we assume and start doing the things that we assume they're asking of us. It happened with my daughter the other day. She started telling me something and I assumed that she needed something. So I got up and I started walking until I heard her like literally saying, "Mama, that's not what I meant." I'm like, oh, okay. Let's come back and sit down. And now I'm gonna close my mouth and I'm gonna listen till the end and slow down so that I know what you need, and then I speed things up and I get it done. It applies to everything else. I mean, one of the things that we do here in my house is I always have squeezed lemon in the fridge, because we use lemon all the time, almost for every meal. My husband loves lemon. His family loves lemon. So we use lemon a lot. So in the past, I used to squeeze a lemon every time I needed to use it for a dish, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Now, I figured it out finally that we use a lot of lemon. So now I have lemon squeezed in my fridge all of the time, like a whole, 10 lemons a week that are squeezed. Yes, it takes time to do all of that. It takes us, 15 minutes to get this done, and then to wash and to do whatever. But then it saves me that 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 2 minutes there, and ends up saving more time. So slow down to speed up. Does that make sense? One final example here. When you go grocery shopping, maybe you're in a hurry to just put things in the fridge. However they are, you say, I'll worry about that later. But then the next day, you need to get something out and it's not organized, it's not tidy in any way. And then the fruits aren't washed or the vegetables aren't washed. And you end up wasting time that you could have saved yesterday when you did the shopping. Like, wash whatever needs to be washed, put things exactly where they need to be put. slowly, so that when you need them for cooking, it's very, very fast. So slow down to speed up. Now, because I want you to save as much time as possible to build that beautiful dream of yours, I know you have something in your mind that you say, I don't have time, I don't have time. And I want to save you hours every single week so that you can have time to do that thing or to do whatever else you want to do. But I know that there's a dream in there somewhere. There's an idea that you keep telling yourself that you don't have time to think about and to build and to create. So if you want a few extra hours every week in your week, and I don't mean at night or early in the morning at 5 a.m. in the morning, I mean like in regular working human hours, then you're gonna love my free masterclass where I shared 5 of my favorite tools and tips that have helped me save so much time. I don't know why I didn't use to do these in the past, but they are life-changing and my clients have said the same. You can grab this from the description underneath this video. Thank you for giving me your time and for being here until the end. I hope to see you again next week. Bye.